Welcome to Cities Skylines and the city of Rock Valley. Now I'm going to start with an apology, guys, that if my voice sounds really rough and I'm not 100% with it, to be honest, it's been a pretty rough couple of days. I felt blooming awful with this cold and I'm just starting to get over it, but I haven't done much recording in the last couple of days, and so I've kind of missed a couple of my normal release slots, which I apologise for, guys. I'm feeling a bit better. I'm still not 100%, but I'm hoping to get back on track in the future. Anyway, in the last part, guys, we built this junction out here. The traffic's running a bit slow, so let's speed up a bit. And this is working pretty well. I like this area here. It's a nice high-speed road. It's feeding in here, but it's having a bit of an adverse effect down here. And if I kind of click on here and go there, you will see that what's actually happening is the highway here is actually, and you can actually see this oddity where the trucks are leaving and then coming back on and coming down, and a lot of them are feeding in through here, which is annoying because I don't want trucks coming through this area here. I want all of my trucks to come down through here. This is why I built this highway. It's probably because this isn't a fully upgraded highway, but we will look at that later on. But so the first thing I'm going to do here is kind of take this zone and push it up. I know it's going to include industrial, but it won't include industrial forever. Now, anyone who hasn't watched a previous video, this zone has both the heavy traffic ban and the old town. I like to use them in combination, but you can just use the heavy traffic ban if you want. But I like to have the two together because it kind of discourages people from running through here. And what we're going to do is let that run, and what should happen over time is the trucks should stop coming down here. I mean, there will be some trucks coming in here, and to that end what I'm going to do is change the zoning. Sorry guys, I think this might be a bit of a short video, to be honest. I mean, besides the coughing and sneezing, guys, it's looking at the monitor has been a little bit stressful. And what I'm going to do is eventually these kind of blocks this side will eventually convert to commercial, and then we'll have the industry sat behind. Oh, I've got some water problems here. Probably I didn't take this up far enough. So the industry's picking up a bit now. Anyway, now the next thing I want to talk about is, and I want to thank Risto, sorry I can't remember your second name, it begins with S, and for giving me a very, very important tip. Now, it might explain why I've always disliked buses in Cities Skylines. I've always only ever used them when the game first starts until I get access to metros, and I often replace them. Then the only other time I will actually use them is when I've want to say like a small remote community out here that's feeding into maybe a railway station or something like that. Oh, we got water shortages. Okay guys, I have to deal with this. And I think what we're going to do is, I think we've now opened up this. I think what we can do is, I mean, I'm tempted to put them down here, but I think I want the flow through here to draw the water through, and I probably won't. I don't know. Okay, let's put a couple. So I want to keep this open for ports and harbours. So maybe I'll put a couple over here. We'll just go across and connect like that. Looks like power's a bit low as well, so maybe we'll junk up the power a bit as well. And once these kick in, let's have a quick check. Yeah, it's right off the board now, so we'll get rid of the... Actually, I've got so much cash, I probably... How's that? That should drop. If that drops, of course we need to get water in. Actually, lost the power to here. Always do that. And I think what I'm going to do water-wise is we've got a couple of pumps there, and maybe we'll just put a third one in here for the moment. Just to pick that water up. We've got a surplus, so I think maybe we can delete this one as well. Maybe we'll, just to be on the safe side, we'll put a third one over here. I mean, we're going to be using it up anyway, guys, so it's not like it's wasted. And we've got Grand City. We've now got solar powered plants and a third loan. A bit of a anti-climax, but wow, it's all part of the process. And we've now got that, and of course the game slows down, and as you can see here we've got industry building up again. And I think what I'm going to do is just keep the process of pushing the industry over this way. I think what we can do is put another band in here. Oh, we got trouble here, guys. This is what Cities Skylines is all about, is dealing with the issues. I mean, I put this in as a temporary road, and I think it's now time to maybe evolve this road a little bit. And I think what we can do is come in up. It's a little too steep. Wow. Oh, maybe I've gone up too high. Let's go down. It's up. Maybe we just get there it goes. I don't that maybe took it into there. Don't like that at all. Just gonna pause, so guys. This is probably not the best time to be doing a tricky junction. Let's take this back again, actually. Let's start again. Okay, let's take off all the snapping. Sometimes the snapping can be looks a bit more encouraging. And I think that that'll give us a nice angled approach there. And I still want traffic from this direction to loop back into. So I think what we can do is take out these. Hopefully you'll be able to leap in there. That'll do fine. And that should open up this junction for progress and allow things to move through here quite nicely. Okay, guys, we've got a trash problem, but I think that will solve itself over time. Okay, back to what I was saying. As I say, I'm going to repeat myself. Got the trash. I wonder what's caused that. Probably because I've been messing around with the traffic over. Anyway. Yeah, I'd like to thank Risto for that comment about buses. As I say, I've never been the greatest fan of buses. I've always found them more than slightly irritating to use. They often end up blocking all the traffic up, and I think what I'm going to do is we're going to convert to trams. I do like trams in residential areas. I don't like them in concentrate. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Never mind. We will persist. We will persist, guys. And I think what we're going to do is kind of come out here a bit. Actually, what I could do is we can kind of come out here. This is like a free space here, so because of course trams have this whopping great big kind of station here, which could be a bit of a pain in the neck. And what we're going to do is, and what I'm thinking is to have a tram route running. Actually, let's come in like that, and I think maybe No, 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 no. Maybe we're down here. We'll just put. I'll fix that later on. What I'm going to do is have a. What I'm thinking is we've got the university down here. So I'm thinking of having an up and down tram route. The core of the city. And down here we've also. So we're just going to come across like that. And don't worry, the buses are going to go, guys. I'd say I'm not the greatest fan. I just found buses to be a nuisance, to be honest. I know some of you are great fans of buses, and I think maybe we can come up. And if I check that, probably got to come back down this way. Is that not? Let's just have a quick check of the route. Yeah, I've probably gone a bit off here, guys. So let me just fix this. I think let's come back to there, and I think I will. Bus routes. Delete. Get rid of them. And we're just going to put a tram, up and down tram route here. I suppose my liking for trams has got something to do with the fact that I've always had a bit of a fascination with them, guys. And again, don't put the stops too close together. People will walk to stops, so you can actually use them. Oops, no, cancel that. Come round here like that, and I think maybe we'll just sneak an extra one in there that's a bit close together. Maybe we can drag you up a little bit. And of course we're going to go back the other way. Try not to put stops opposite each other. They will only obstruct each other. Those are a bit close together as well. I can see some fine tuning in the future of this city. And what we're going to do is, I think we can get one in about there. One in about there. That's pretty close to the metro station. And of course we're going to colour them. Trams. Metro line. That's it there. And I think I have a red tram line. And a yellow one. And what that will do is it will actually feed across into this area of the city. I mean, we will be tailoring this even a bit more in the future. I think we'll probably have a tram line up and down this side of the city. See, the industry is still growing. So I think we can get a bit more industry here. I don't like to rush to. I don't like part. I do not like to rush to offices. Not until my education is getting very, very good. I'm just quite happy to work with the traditional industry. Now, you don't want industry to grow too fast, guys. Otherwise, what you will see is lots of things saying not enough employees and things like that coming up. And I think what we can do is I want to keep the process of dezoning out this area and getting heavy commercial in here as well. So we're kind of moving the industry over that way. I'm probably going to eventually have a road coming through here, because I do have another idea, because there's something else I want to show you in this video, guys, but what we're going to have to see is try and find the best place to put it. Actually, I think it's time to buy a couple of tiles, and I think we're going to buy this one. The question is, do I come down to here or do I go up to there? I think I'm going to buy this one, because we all go to all 9 tiles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that kind of opens up this area here. And what I'm going to do is bring a road out here. Oh, and we're going to come out like this. And I want to come out fairly wide. I'm going to come down in blocks of 3, like that. Just basically duplicating the other side. I'm not going to zone up anything specific here for the moment. I think that line one can stay quite long. We've got a train track there. What I'm working for is to get a basis for a train track, and I think we can get out one more like that, and maybe we will just like that in the center. What I want to do is set up a rail link for my imports, and what I'm going to do is got that line there and we've got this line here, so I think maybe we're going to come out a bit like that. I'm going to create a one-way road round like that, and we're going to put a train station in about there, and now we've got to get across to this rail line here. I think what we will do is come in this side, and of course what we're going to do is I think we can go style a little bit. Just going to go in like that. Of course with train tracks you've got to have this kind of scenario here. Of course we've got no water, so we're going to have to come out 4, 6. Oh, it's a bit too far. It's not. It's irritating me. It's not lining up correctly. Okay. Okay, we're just going to have to compromise a little bit, guys. Come out here. So we're going to have to come straight out across some power cables like this. I mean, this will all fill in if. And what I've actually done is I always like to service my road trains, my cargo hubs with one-way roads, and I always like the road to go this way. Now there is a mod that can reverse this, but I'm not a big one for mods, to be honest, especially as the fact that they often break when you do when updates come out. And what this will do is this will give us a train link here to bring in imports and exports to this side of the city, and considering we've only got the one external road link, I think that's quite important. And now what I want to do here is I'll show you guys a bit of an experiment. It's in a little bit in the wrong place, so no, I don't want that. I want a two-way road. But I just want to show this to you guys. It's to do with industry specialization, and it's, I wouldn't say it's a neat trick, but it's an interesting thing that I've seen people say, well, I can't have industry because I don't have that resource, or I don't have this resource, I don't have that resource. I think we'll just go to pause because I've just cut the power lines. Now you can actually get away with it, and there is a pretty good reason for doing this, guys. I think what we probably can do is just put up pretty icky. So how's the garbage? Is the garbage picked up and improved? Sorry, I'm just gonna keep going. I think we can delete this, get rid of it. Are we still getting garbage problems, or is it resolved now that the traffic situation's eased a bit? Yeah, it looks like it's okay. Now, yeah, so you get the impression that you cannot use industry specializations if you don't have the resource. Because if I kind of show you guys here, let's just have a look at, let's do this properly. I will clear my head. You can see here it says forest, but it says there are fertile lands. But to be honest, I had to look round, and you've got to look very carefully. There's a little bit of fertile land over here. We've got some ore over here, which we could possibly get to. And as for the oil, it says there's oil on this map somewhere, but it's probably either very small or very difficult to see. And what I'm actually going to do is this with an ore specialization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, and what I'm going to do is create an industrial zone here, or just a zoned area like that. And I think I've got the ore specialization, yes. And if you put that in there and you put this industry in like this, won't go up to the edge. What will happen is, as it moves, as this Franklin Park is an ore specialization. So water, it's crud. Okay. This grid is hurting me, guys, and I mean it's really hurting me. And if you kind of come in here, see it says you are uranium and Iron Forge Limited. So you are getting a kind of ore specialization coming in here, but the downside is that you will be importing the raw materials. So it would be the raw materials that are actually being brought in from the outside, and you will be producing other products. But what it means is you will be able to develop a diversified industry within your city. It just means that you will get these specializations here. Now, what I do recommend is that if you do this, don't make them big. I mean, this is probably the biggest you want to do. But what it can help with is your imports and exports, and it can actually help to reduce the traffic, because what will actually happen is the trucks and that will coming in here will deliver here. I mean, if we probably click on this, where the heck's he going? He's actually leaving the city. Oh, he's a tractor, so he's obviously brought in here. Well, that actually is another example. If you put a station in a railway line with a road like that, often you will get trucks and that come in. I don't know if this will show it, who will go to the railway station. Oh, that's a good one. So what you're effectively, they're using your link to the export area, but you can definitely see the demand here, guys, with that, the traffic coming into there. And hopefully we've still got a garbage problem. I think I'm going to have to fix this by putting a temporary garbage location here. It's starting to irritate me. I think what we can do is, I'm just going to put an incinerator out here. And I've done a one-way road again, so I'm just going to, of course we'll just take some water out this way up to there. I'll just push like that, and that can feed to this side of the city. Have a quick look at our tram network. I mean, I will expand it over time. This is tram line 1, so you can see how successful the tram line is, and you will get benefits from it. So we've now got Franklin Heights growing here, but this does go to show, and you see it's the first signs of problems, that we're short of workers, and that's probably because the fact that the transport is not particularly brilliant. I mean, what I'm inclined to do is push this out a little bit further. But again, I'm just going to pause the game. I'm not happy with this here anyway, so I think we can that there, and I think we can just can't think, guys. It's like trying to think through a sponge cloth at the moment. So apologies. And I think what we can do is get another one there. And I think what we can do is now there. I'll take you out to there. Take you across to there like that. And I think we can. And hopefully we will be able to hook the lines. I've lost the lines. Okay. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't, guys. Okay. Because these probably won't connect now. Oh no, they've done it for me, thank you. This takes a little while for. Well, that's a bit of a weird connection, but I think if we can just connect these in, that's still connected. I think we delete the station, then we might be able to drag in that and make it separate. What that should do now is give more people move over to here. The other reason I've moved this is that what I want to do here is widen this road up a bit, just to kind of. I've already upgraded that, but what I want to do is upgrade this road through here, make it a bit more high speed. That will pull more traffic down into this area. I don't want it to go much further than that, so we're just going to. Of course, I wouldn't have been able to do this with the metro station right alongside the road, but we can just do that. I think we'll just upgrade that. I think what we can do is try out the new two-way highway here. Sound barriers. Actually, didn't like that with sound barriers. It's a bit normal. These are the new two-way type highways. This there. I haven't really experimented very much with those. Maybe we'll experiment with those later. It's just actually look quite cool. Actually, I quite like that. Maybe we'll just take that up that way. That should really now start to open this area up. Not a lot of traffic here though, pulling across. That's not good. But and I think we can just there. Of course, we've got a bit more industry coming in here. I think power wise we don't really need this area here, so I'm just gonna take this out, and it means we can drop in some industry here. Go straight up to there, just check the zoning. Maybe sneak this zoning back a bit so that we have ordinary industry here. I think maybe I've got a bit too much forestry in this area. Maybe we can trim this back a bit as well. Yeah, with these specializations, don't go overboard, guys. Just have enough to generate some internal industry, but not so much that because obviously these industries don't employ that many people when you compare to these, especially as these upgrade. Actually, I think what we can do is let's have a look at the land value here. Let's have a look at what these guys are looking for. Need more services. Okay, let's see what we need in the way of services. We certainly don't have. I think we need to sort of fire, get a bit of police in. Maybe we'll get sort of police over here. And of course medical. Medical always goes down well, guys, as well. I think maybe we'll have some medical in this corner. Actually, we don't have much in the way of medical on this side of the city either, so just pump that up as well to get the land values up a bit. And of course crematoriums. I think it's time to get some crematoriums in, and then I think we'll have one this end. We'll have one like close to the. Don't want it really there. I think maybe we'll have one there. and I think we'll have one over here, and another one there, and I think we'll have one servicing the centre of the city. I do tend to go a little bit overboard with crematoriums, guys, and again, this is one of my kind of things is I'm going to get rid of the cemeteries. There's another one in here somewhere. Where's the cemeteries? Yeah, there's one over here. I mean, they're useful, but to me they're like a little bit of a waste of space. So we'll just get rid of the cemetery, because you can always make it up with sauna. Maybe we can put sauna in. Give us a bit more. Oops, Daisy, we've got power problems. Yeah, power's dropped. I think what we're going to do is, I think it's a bit of a cheat, guys, but I do like to have at least one solar powered system in the city. No, I think we're just going to strike off like this. Well, I mean, it would be fun to put in a dam, but I'm not too sure where you would really want a dam in the city. And of course we've got a bit more demand for commercial, so I think it's time to evict another row of these guys. Oops, nope, wrong way round. Oh, come on. Think, clear your head. I'm going to have to go back to bed, I think. I'm not normally a big person for laying in bed, but the last couple of days it's been almost my permanent home. I've just felt so terrible. Never mind. That's not my problem. That's not your problem, guys. So, and we could start putting offices, but as I say, I tend to be a little bit slow in the process of deploying offices. I think we've got a nice little flow going here, but I'm kind of a little bit. Don't like this crossroads actually. I could do this. It's a bit naff, but it might actually help a little bit. In fact, I think what I might do is take out this link road here, get a bit of a wider circulation going. I mean, and then I could, once I need to develop this area, that kind of gives it a bit more, takes these junctions away a bit, and that gives it a bit more flow. You can see, so the traffic's flowing a little bit closer, and I think we can. I think what we can do is put some more industrial here, kind of fill out this area a bit. We've got the metro station there running. And I do have to admit that I do like my city to have quite a balanced industrial. I'm not an all office type person. Right, that can go. Didn't take long. I think the other one is because if you get rid of these, I mean, you've got to put a graveyard down early. You don't really have a lot of choice, but I think, what have I done? I've cut a power line. I'm sure I've cut a power line somewhere. What's happened? What have I done? Yeah, there's the power line. That's because I took the cemetery out and it actually broke the power link here. Bit of a fail there, guys. Actually, what I could do is connect into there, and then I could probably take out that. That gives me this kind of open corner for a little bit of. Yeah, I think that's going there. Just have a quick check of education. Education is way down. That's a bit of a fail on my part, guys. I really need to push up here. Now, education is one area where I have been very sorely tempted to use mods, simply because the school capacity in this game is a bit crazy. And of course, as this high density goes in, you need to increase your education capability. I think I've got education there. What I'm going to do is put an education next to the university, because in the next part we're going to be expanding down here. I'm very aware of the time, so I think I'm going to need to start thinking about winding this part up, guys, because I do want to keep it short, because I can already feel my voice getting a bit icky croaky. And this is gone. Right, let's get rid of this so we got a bit of a nice clean area in here. Of course, what we can do now is put in here, and that's going to leave a little bit of a gap. But I think what we could do is maybe just drop that in there. I know I've deleted that, but I think that will give a bit of commercial heart in. As you may have guessed, guys, I'm a little bit of a tinkerer. I'm always chopping and changing my cities. I'm not someone who kind of sits down and designs the perfect city and then sets out to build it. I'm very much a person who is forever changing, chopping and changing, relaying things out, moving things. It's just the way I am. I think I'm quite happy with the traffic. I just want to check here. So let's just have a quick little spot check here. Yeah, so we still got a little bit of traffic coming in here, but it's not the delivery trucks. But I think we've kind of we're not getting much crossing traffic, I think. Have a quick look here. Yeah, we've now got all the traffic coming in through here. I'm really happy with that. Let's have a quick check to see. Oops, didn't mean that. And we've got a flow there. Yep. And I do like this tool actually, guys. It does give you a lot of information, and it does show. So although this is busy, it's flowing very, very nicely. Have a quick check of the public transports. See, the metro lines are doing incredibly well. And let's have a tram lines not so well, but then they're actually working down through this residential area here. And I think I probably would do is, I think I'll do it off camera, guys, because I think you guys got the idea of trams. I think what we'll do, I will probably do is have a tram line running up and down similar to this in parallel, probably running on through this road here. Just check here. This is actually a one-way road through here. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, I think well, I quite like this one-way system, but I think maybe we need to take, I don't know, that's quite got a nice rotating flow to it. So I think what we may have to have is, it's going to make putting a tram system in a little bit tricky, but we could have a one-way tram system. This is a two-way road. Maybe we can upgrade this road to two-way as far as here, and maybe if we put a road through here and upgrade this one to two-way. That's a two-way there. That's a two-way. That's running down there. Actually, that's a two-way here. One way here as well. Maybe now we don't have industry here. Maybe we can flip some of these to two-way roads now. I tend to use one-way roads in industry as opposed to commercial. And I think what I will do is put a tram line in here, but I'll do that off camera, guys. And also I need to maybe start thinking about adjusting this. That's annoying me. That's off. And what we could do is start to extend the metro over that way. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we will start to expand down here, work a little bit more on the general residential, start getting the city away from the very rigid grid system, more towards something that's a bit more flexible. But that's all going to be for the next part, guys. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.